Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about that intense McLaren battle in Hungary, as well as an incident involving Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So that was very intense for the win between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Norris managed to win out, but it was only by 0.6 of a second. It was a really good battle. And basically it started at the first round of pit stops. Now Piastri was in P2, Norris was in P4, and Piastri had a gap to Norris and was trying to overtake Leclerc. And Piastri ended up doing a box to overtake Leclerc, so pitted first to try and get the undercut. And while he was close to Leclerc on the pit exit, Leclerc managed to stay out ahead when he pitted a lap later. But Norris stayed out. He decided to do the one stop while Piastri and Leclerc did the two stop, and Leclerc and Piastri were naturally closing right on the back of Norris because his tyres were so old, and eventually Norris pitted, which meant Leclerc and Piastri were 1 and 2 again. But then after the second round of stops for Leclerc and Piastri was able to easily get past Leclerc. Something happened with him, I'm not quite sure what. But Leclerc said on the radio, "This is so incredibly frustrating. We've lost all the competitiveness. You just have to listen to me. I would have found a different way of managing those issues. Now it's just undrivable. It's a miracle if we finish on the podium." So obviously something happened during the race because Leclerc was quick, and then after the pit stops, Leclerc was not quick. So it'll be interesting to see what that was. And it turns out Leclerc actually did not finish on the podium. George Russell was able to overtake him for third following an intense battle between the two drivers. But back to McLaren, after Piastri got past Leclerc, Piastri was closing right onto the back of Norris. He was closing in by a few tenths a lap. And it came down to the final few laps. Piastri was all over the back of Norris, had DRS, and was trying to make moves going into turn 1. And we saw at one point him really go for it down the inside, but he locked up and had to bail out of the move because had he committed to it, I think the two of them would have made contact and they both would have been out of the race. So yeah, a really good battle, and Norris was able to hold on to the win. And speaking about winning, Norris said, "We weren't really planning on the one stop, but after the first lap, it was kind of our only option to get back into things. The final stint with Oscar catching, I was pushing flat out, rewarding even more because of that. The perfect result today. I didn't think it would get us the win. I thought it would get us maybe into seconds. If I knew I had clean air and could push, I could make these things work, and that's what we did." Now, I don't think Piastri will be happy with this. I mean, if you go back to the first round of stops, Piastri had a nice gap to Norris, but it seemed that the focus for McLaren was getting Piastri ahead of Leclerc. And even though Piastri still had a very good chance to win on the two stop, yeah, I don't think he'll be happy with that result. And I think he will be asking the team why they did a one stop with Norris and a two stop with him. And asked whether he was surprised by Norris going for the one stop, Piastri said yes and no. At that point, he did not have much to lose, so it wasn't a huge surprise. I don't know if trying to undercut Leclerc was the right call in the end. We can go through it after. But let's move on to Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, with them being caught up in an incident in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Basically, Verstappen was on much fresher tyres compared to Hamilton. Verstappen had stopped, Hamilton had not. And Verstappen was trying to line up a move on Hamilton, but Hamilton was keeping Verstappen behind him. But then on lap 30, on the run to turn 4, Verstappen had a really good run and tried to go up the inside of turn 4, and trees got in the way as we were watching that battle, and Verstappen came out ahead while Hamilton was off the circuit. Now, it was very close between the two drivers. It's not clear if they made contact, but yeah, it was very close. And during the race, it was noted that the incident would be under investigation, and then it was confirmed that it would be investigated after the race. And now Verstappen has been called to the stewards for allegedly forcing Hamilton off the track in turn 4. Now, as I say, it's not clear if the two of them made contact or not, but I think what we can see from what we saw in the race was that Verstappen was not far enough alongside to make the move. And if there was contact that led to Hamilton going off the circuit, I think it will probably be a penalty for Verstappen. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. And until the next one, take care. Bye.